Hey you guys, C here. Thank you so much for clicking to join me in today's video. I am so fortunate that I'm able to sew quite often, whether it is making new pieces to incorporate into my wardrobe or if it is sewing and creating content to share with you guys, my beautiful community. But as a person who spent over 6 years completely unenthused, uninterested, and did not want to sew, you couldn't even pay me to sew. I know what it feels like to be burnt out, and because of which I make sure that I practice a sewing reset all the time. Sometimes I'm breaking between projects and you guys don't even know because the content keeps pushing, okay? I take these pauses in my sewing quite often to prevent burnout because it is the perfect opportunity to get reorganized, get reconnected to your goals or your creativity, and to get re-inspired. What a sewing reset looks like for me is tidying up my space. So that is cleaning up the she shed. It is also to go through my patterns and my fabric, reorganizing it, maybe purging things that I'm no longer interested in. But then most importantly, it's also reassessing my whips. So my batch cut pieces or projects that I had lined up in the queue, I go through those to see if I'm still excited about it, if I'm still interested in it, and then make room for new projects, okay? So in today's video, we're gonna be doing all of the above, and I'm excited, one, because I think I'm just a cleaning enthusiast as well, but then also because it just gives me new life, and I get energized and excited for the next round of sewing or creativity coming my way. But before we get started, let's take a moment to discuss today's sponsor. I am so grateful that Craftsy has sponsored this portion of the video. Craftsy is an online community and resource where millions of creatives can tap in and find inspiration, advance their skills, and learn some new skills along the way. So in moments like this, I like to dial in, tap into Craftsy, and expand and explore those skills. Craftsy offers over 2,000 courses in over 20 categories, so there is plenty of content to explore. We're talking sewing, of course, crocheting, knitting, drawing, painting, photography, cake baking, gardening. Oh, there's even yoga. I mean, it's a lot, and I'm so excited. For over a year, we talked about this serger back here. There's a course, Making Friends with Your Serger by ZJ Humback on Craftsy, that has helped teach me some overlocking stitches as well as some hemming stitches with my serger. Yes, I feel like a pro now. Okay. Yeah, I do. I feel like a pro now. There's also a course about fixing fit issues. It's pattern alterations by Ashley Ho that I have been enjoying as well. And so when I'm doing my sewing resets, it's so fulfilling to be able to shut down all the noise around me, log into my Craftsy account, and learn and expand on my skills. And I think you can tell over the last year, my sewing skills have improved tremendously, and that is huge thanks to Craftsy and the incredible experts that are teaching some live courses. What I also love is that Craftsy is always incorporating new and fresh topics, new and fresh videos to keep you excited, to keep you coming back. So the first 1,000 of you who click the link down below in the description box will get a full year premium membership to Craftsy for only $1.49. Join and thank me later. Thank you so much, Craftsy, for sponsoring today's video. Now, let's get back to the sewing reset. Let's get back to the she shed. I've been putting this off all day, but it can't go any further like this. And it's worse now than when I said I was going to clean the shed. So I'm just making a mess as I go because I know I'm going to clean it up. All right, it is a late Saturday night. It's 11 p.m. I had a wonderful nap. I've also brewed myself a cup of coffee because I know that I'm going to be up to the wee hours of the morning cleaning. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pick everything off the floor, put it on the workbench, and work on the floors. I like to sweep, I like to vacuum, and also because I'm in the she shed, I am very susceptible to bugs, whether it's spiders, ants. I think I just got bit by a mosquito. I did. Mosquitoes, everything. So I have some bug spray that I'm going to be spraying in the perimeter of the shed. I do have my mask. I need to find that. That's lost somewhere in the chaos. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to switch out my ring light. So I have this beautiful 22-inch wide pink ring light, and it is on a tripod. It's here in the corner between the workbench, the mini fridge, the TV, and the bookcase. sometimes it does get in the way. As a matter of fact, all the time it gets in the way. And so I have opted to get a wall mount instead. And I want to switch that out. And then I'll get into organizing all this chaos, putting it where it goes, and probably going through my fabric tonight and saving my patterns for tomorrow. That's the plan. That's the goal. Let's go ahead and get started. So I've started spraying the bug spray on that side of the shed, going along the perimeter of the baseboards, the corners, and across the ceiling. I have no power on this side of the shed. So I have extension cords that are plugged in that are stretched across the bottom of the floor. They are 12 feet long, but they only have enough room for 3 outlets, which isn't really enough sometimes. So I went ahead and I purchased new ones on Amazon that have not only, 9 outlets, but also USB-C and 2 USB ports. So I'm going to go ahead and replace both extension cords. I have one here under the TV and one by the AC. So that means I'm going to pull everything off the wall, sweep, spray, and then plug it in and then push everything back. Alright, so we're making good progress. I am starting to slow down. I haven't finished the floors as of yet, but everything is off the floors. I have tackled about half of what was on here. I'm going to save going through the fabric and the patterns for tomorrow. And so now I'm going to go ahead and mount my wall mount for my ring light. And here is the mount that I'm going to use. I've been dragging my feet on this because I'm scared it's not going to work out. And then shortly after I purchased this, I saw it in pink for $30 more. So take that off and put this here. And this is how it's supposed to look. And I have my ring light attached to it. So I'm probably going to have to take the ring light off, put it on here so I can get my fit, my positioning right. So we'll see how that goes, but I definitely want to go ahead and tackle that tonight before I call it quits. I finally invested in a wall clock for the she shed. I mentioned in a video or two that I don't have a clock in here. And I rarely have my phone. Well, I have my phone, but I'm not very responsive to it. It's on silent pretty much all the time. So I lose track of time. And when I'm in here, I tap into another life anyway. I'm completely removed from everything. And so sometimes losing track of time is great. And then other times it's like, wow, you really need to be more mindful of your time management. So I finally decided to invest in one. Now, I love the peachiness of this wall clock, and it picks up on the peach in my wallpaper. I just don't like that it is hanging over this absolutely pink bookcase. I don't know if I want to get more wallpaper and wallpaper this bookcase or paint it. I could paint it to be the same color as the bookcase over here. I might do that one day. But for now, this is cute right here. So we'll go with this. And then once I hang this clock, then I'm going to vacuum and call it a night. And we'll worry about fabric and patterns tomorrow. So I'll see you guys in a bit. I figured since I was mounting the ring light to the wall that I might as well touch up the wall as well. There have been bouts of me hanging things up and then taking them down. So I have anchors that I removed last night, holes that I need to patch. And so it's been 4 years since we remodeled the shed. So I figured this was the perfect opportunity to go ahead and just get some new paint and touch it up. So I'll keep you guys posted. Hi, how are you? Touch up the paint and all the she shed, and it already looks so much better. While I wait on that to dry, I decided to go ahead and start going through my patterns. They're typically organized, but I've purchased a lot here recently, and it's just gotten to the point where I've just thrown them in my bookcases. So typically I have my tops here. They're organized by knits and wovens. Same thing with the dresses. I have a lot of dresses, but they're organized by knits and wovens as well. Then we get into jumpsuits. Then this is where I've tossed everything. We have outerwear down here and athleisure wear as well. And then we've got coordinates. These are spring and summer coordinates. These are fall and winter coordinates. And then we have miscellaneous. So that's going to be pajamas, lounge wear, and kids patterns. So that is my organization. Also, I have recently purchased a ton of PDFs. And yeah. This is why I don't like PDFs. I am going to be working on an organization system for that. I purchased some clear vinyl envelopes with snaps on them. I couldn't find them in the store. I looked in a couple stores and I couldn't find them. So they're not here yet. But I'm thinking for these that I haven't cut out, I'm just going to organize the pattern, put it in the envelope, and sit that envelope in this doohickey right here. And maybe that's a suitable solution for right now. I also have a ton of 3-inch binders. I'm going to take one 3-inch binder and make it like the reference book for all of my patterns. So a picture front, back of every pattern booklet that I have, organized by tops, dresses, pants, whatever. And so when I want to look through my patterns, instead of sitting here and filming through each one, I can just grab the binder, flip to the category that I'm looking for, and then I have a catalog of everything that I already possess. It's going to be time intensive at first, but I think that's what I want to do instead of having a series of binders with all of my patterns in it. This organization works for now, and it's been working for over a year now. I don't see myself exceeding this because I do a really good job of, if a pattern doesn't work for me or I don't like it, I go ahead and discard it by the end of the year. That's what I've done the last 2 years, and it's worked out really well. I anticipate doing the same thing the end of this year. So purging quite often. If you're interested, make sure that you are subscribed and you come back, because I do think that might be something that I implement in some upcoming plans. All right, that's enough chit-chatting. Let's get to it. Let's check in for a minute. I've gone through my tops and my dresses. So now I'm going to go through my bottoms, my coordinates, and my outerwear. What I like is that now that I've spent the last 2 years working exclusively with commercial patterns, I know my fit a lot better today than I did even last year this time. It's nice to go through the patterns and be like, okay, yeah, this will not fit. Yeah, my body measurements exceed this. This won't work. Or going through styles like, hey, I've had this pattern for years. This style is just not me. My body has changed after the kids. I'm not interested in that. So I like that I'm defining my style, my newfound style post babies now. All right, so let me get back to it. Okay, so I've gone through all of my patterns, and here is my purge pile. So these are patterns that I will be donating or giving away or selling, whatever. They no longer serve me. These are either patterns that I've made and don't like, patterns that I'm not interested in making another of, patterns that I purchased the wrong size, or patterns that the style just no longer suits me. It's just not for me. So I'm excited about that because I don't like hoarding things that I don't need. Okay, so that is the purge pile. These are patterns that I'd like to work on this summer, and not all of them, because we only have, what is this, maybe 2 months of summer left. But I have a top pattern that I'd like to work on. I'd like to make a skirt, so I've pulled out 2 different skirt patterns based on the fabric that I can find or that I have. So one is a knit skirt, one's a woven skirt. Then I have 2 pant patterns. Same thing, just depends on fabric that I can find. And then I picked up 3 dress patterns. I want to make a maxi dress. That's one thing I don't have. So I pulled out a knit pattern and 2 wovens, just depending on which fabric I find. So just 1 dress is all that I want to make. 1 top is all that I want to make. 1 skirt and 1 pair of pants. And I think that's achievable between now and the end of summer. Same thing with fall and winter. This stack is a little bit bigger because I'll have more time to work with. I also have 2 patterns that I need to purchase the next size up. Simplicity 8655 is the pattern that I made my first pair of jeans. I do need to go up in size. They're a little snug when I wear them. It doesn't stop me from wearing them. I'm just uncomfortable. But the wrap is perfect. Like, I made the wrap, the top, it's a 14, and that's perfect. So I'm not going to throw this away because I need the 14 for the top, but I need the 16 for the jeans. And then same thing here, Simplicity 9755. I have not made this pattern, but I do want it in my stash. This is US 6 to 14. This will be fine for the top, but as far as the waist for the skirt and the pants, I need the next size up. So I'll be looking for these 2 online or Etsy or Amazon, whichever I can get my hands on at a better price or quicker. So now that I've shot my pattern stash, the next time I come to the shed, I'll start playing with my fabric, see what I have, see what I need to get for some of these projects. And these are moments where I really start to get inspired. I definitely start to get excited. This is when I'm like, okay, my break is coming to an end and I can start working on some things. So stay tuned. I'll see you guys in a few days. Good night. Playing in my fabric is one of my favorite things to do. Unfortunately, I don't have an extensive fabric collection. Like, all the fabric that I have is in these 4 containers, and one of the containers is batch cut. So I guess we could go through the batch cut pieces first. Sitting up top is a poplin fabric that I just purchased from Hobby Lobby, and this is not batch cut, but this is to make a pair of Vogue shorts. I just made a pair of white poplin shorts in a Vogue pattern very recently. I shared that on the channel, but I went back to get some black fabric to make identical black shorts. But batch cut, I have this second container has fabrics already paired with certain patterns, and I kind of work on this over the course of the year, especially after I buy new fabrics. Sometimes I'll go ahead and match them up with patterns as I share on the channel. Okay, so I've gone through all of the fabric in my fabric stash, and I had success with a few patterns that I want to make by the close of the year. Of course, since I don't hoard a lot of fabric here, I like to keep a small footprint. I don't really have a lot of fabric to choose from, but this is what I came up with. So we've already talked about the black poplin with Vogue 9008, a pair of shorts. But I also recently came across this top pattern in Hobby Lobby for $2.99. This is McCall's 8217. I like View B. And as you see with the model, she's just wearing the top with a regular pair of shorts. I think those two patterns would look great. I found this rayon challis in my fabric stash that I purchased from Joann probably back in 2017, 2016, before I quit sewing for a while. I would be wearing the top with these stripes vertically, of course, but I think these two fabrics will look great. These two patterns will look great. Boom, boom, bam. There's a casual wear outfit as well as two pieces that I can wear together, but also solo or interchangeably with other pieces. Then I also most recently picked up this pattern. This is McCall's 7786. I picked this up from Hobby Lobby for $2.99 as well. I like View D. I also like View C, but View D is what I'm aiming for. And I found this beautiful rayon challis. I've got a favorite fabric. This beautiful floral rayon challis in the shed. And I have just the right amount. This is going to be flowy and drapey, and it's going to look oh so good, especially when the wind blows. I love it. Now moving on to some heavier weight fabrics. I purchased this burgundy twill right before Joann closed. I have just 2 yards of this, and this is a pant pattern that I wanted to work with. Now I'm pushing it with the size. This goes up to a size 14. I purchased this before I had a better idea of the size that I'm looking for. I'm grateful that this is an elasticized waist. And get my camera to focus. This is an elasticized waist. So hopefully I should be good with the 14. And that's Simplicity 9376. And it's beautiful burgundy. I like all of the views, but I think I'm aiming for View A or View D. I kind of like the cuffs at the bottom, and the model has hers paired with some loafers, which is kind of cute. And then the last pattern and fabric pairing that I had success with is Simplicity 8749. This is a suit pattern, and I have a gray suiting here. Oh, it's beautiful. I have 4 yards of this beautiful lush fabric. I purchased this from Joann before it closed as well. And I think the two of these are going to look awesome. So I'm super excited about those. I'm going to go ahead and store these in my bin here with the other fabric and pattern pairings. And some of these will be ready in the next round of batch cutting. But I'm going to go ahead and clean these up, and we'll close out in just a bit. Alright you guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed a little behind the scenes, a little insight as to what a sewing reset looks like for me. I feel so much better coming into the shed. I love having all my fabric, my patterns organized, some inspiration for the next couple projects. I think in a few days time, I'll be ready to start sewing again. But in the meantime, I'm going to log into my Craftsy account. There's one more course I want to take a look at before I start sewing again. Thank you to Craftsy for sponsoring today's video. Remember, the first 1,000 of you to click the link in the description box down below will get 1 full year of premium membership with Craftsy for only $149. As always, I love you guys for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.